Hello friends. Welcome to Exploroverse, a journey towards ideality. Today we shall see about world's most toughest and indestructible organism, the tardigrade. Since the first observation of a kleiner Wasser bar in 1773, tardigrades have commonly been called water bears due to their bear-like appearance. They have 8 legs, and hands with 4 to 8 claws on each. Tardigrades gathered attentions from scientists due to their ability to survive extreme temperature variation, dehydration, radiation and ability to survive in space too. Species of tardigrades are found from mountains of Himalaya, Baltic Sea, and Antarctica and even in the ice caps of polar regions. Several species of tardigrades have survived the low temperature of -18°C to -20°C. Observed that tardigrades dry out in cold temperature and form a typical tun or round ball-like structure. The formation of tun is very important to maintain the dry state by reducing water loss and to protect the internal organs. In 2016, a team of scientists from Japan had been able to bring back life in tardigrades which were in a frozen state for 30 years in very low temperature in Antarctica. Tardigrades are found to survive under high temperature range of 80°C to 100°C. In high temperatures, two proteids called as cytoplasmic abundant heat-soluble and secondary abundant heat-soluble reconstruct themselves with alpha helical protein structures, which suggests the new structure helps them to adapt the extreme conditions such as high heat and dry environment with less water. There are also evidences that these animals can survive under radiation and UV exposure from the experiments carried out by European Space Agency. The moon we watch daily has thousands of tardigrades on its surface. Biocon in Space was a project conducted in 2011 that involved 7 experiments sponsored by the Italian Space Agency in the areas of cellular biology, radiation and radio protection, aging, germination and plant growth. The entire experiment was sponsored by NASA and one of the alive specimen used by the agency in space for testing were tardigrades. Obviously, tardigrades were chosen for finding out if it can survive at very low temperature, high radiation and several extreme environmental conditions of space. The tests were carried out using tardigrades in special container and space station. In another experiment conducted by European Space Agency at low Earth orbit, 2 species of tardigrades, Richtersius coronifer and Milnesium tardigradum were exposed to 2 different UV spectral ranges of UV 280 to 400 nanometers and UV 116.5 to 400 nanometers. These 2 species showed ability to survive at vacuum and at high UV radiation by drying up and rehydrating back later. The properties through which the animals can survive at extreme conditions of space like low temperature, lack of oxygen by creating a protection shield around, has made tardigrades an ideal organism for space research. Researchers have been studying tardigrades since a long time and one by one their mysterious properties have been resolved with the progress of science. On one end, after discovering the key protein genes which makes the animal nearly indestructible, there could be more research done to use these genes in creating transgenic crops and animals having the same extreme tolerance property. The refrigeration of vaccine and drugs may have a potential alternative, if the properties of the protein from tardigrades can be used in a proper way. At the other end, with amazing survival records of tardigrades, also provide scopes to test the living organisms in space research, and to test the lives on other planets too. Maybe, one day crossing genes with tardigrades makes us superhuman. For more interesting facts as a daily dose, join Exploroverse.